Elvis had a short temper, was a jealous person, and often made the Memphis Mafia members to do crazy and unexpected things. But do you wonder why the Memphis Mafia still loved him? Because he had a golden heart and used to make all the efforts worth it in the end. Today, we hear from one of the members of Memphis Mafia, Marty Lacker, who has a crazy story to share. This story is from 1966 when Elvis asked Marty to fly to Vegas to get some prescription drugs. Marty flew to Vegas, went to Dr. Shapiro to get the prescriptions, went to 4 different drugstores, and then returned the same day. Now here's where the fun part begins. Elvis actually forgot one of the drugs, and Marty had to fly to Vegas all over again the next day.
The stuff to Elvis, and Elvis looks at me and he says, "I forgot something. You need to go back out there." And I looked at him, I said, "Today?" He said, "Yeah."
Now Marty had already been to all the drugstores and could not go there again and again. So he called Sonny West, who was in California, to help him out with this.
So I had to call Shapiro again and tell him I'm coming back out. So I went back out and same thing. I flew back again that next day.
Marty had to fly to Vegas for the 3rd time in 3 days.
I had to go out the 3rd time. This time, because I had made the rounds of all the drugstores in Vegas at the time.
Sonny came to Vegas and bought the prescription drugs for Elvis. After getting the drugs, they stayed in the Sahara hotel for a while and then went back home.
And so Sonny met me. We got the prescriptions from Shapiro. Sonny took some drugstores, I took some. We got the pills, went back to the Sahara hotel because we had to wait 2 or 3 hours for the flight. They gave us a room to stay at because that's where we used to stay before Elvis started performing. Sonny and I flew to L.A. I flew from L.A.
Marty was quite frustrated as he had to go to the same place thrice in the last 3 days and make it quite clear to Elvis that he is not going anywhere. Marty went to his home to get some sleep. He was waken up by a knocking on his door.
I go home and I go to sleep. And I'm home by myself. My wife and children were out. There's snow on the ground, there's ice. And I'm sound asleep after taking some sleeping pills. And I hear banging on the door. And like I said, you get real grouchy. Well, I was cussing. I didn't know who it was, didn't care.
Marty was not in a good mood and started cussing. When he got to know that it is Elvis, he even yelled at him as he thought Elvis would ask him to go again.
I didn't know who it was, didn't care. I said, "Get away from my fucking door. Who there?" And it's Elvis. And I yelled at him. I said, "I'm not going again."
Elvis asked Marty to come downstairs, and Marty thought that Elvis might bribe him. It was freezing cold outside, and Marty, who was in shorts, wanted to wear clothes. But Elvis was in a hurry and asked him to come out immediately.
I said, "Okay." I opened the door, and I'm just in my undershorts, and it's freezing outside. And he's standing there with Red West. And he says, "Come on downstairs, I want to show you something." I said, "Come on downstairs." I said, "I don't want to see nothing."
They had a fun little interaction, and Elvis handed him the keys to a Ford Ranchero car. Elvis said that this car is for what Marty has done in the last 3 days. The surprising fact is that the car Elvis gifted actually belonged to his girlfriend, Priscilla. Elvis certainly knew how to take care of those close to him, his friends. One of the main reasons that they considered the loss of Elvis as a personal one and were deeply affected by it.
So I ran downstairs real quick, and I'm standing there like this, and he hands me these keys to a Ford Ranchero. And he said, "Here, this is yours for what you did the last 3 days." I said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No, I'm not kidding." So he gives me the keys. He said, "Get in it." I open up the door, and I see Priscilla's initials. He had given me Priscilla's Ranchero, and then he and Red got in the car and just took off.